The Galactic Council chamber sat at the center of the known galaxy. It was a massive structure that floated in space, built by the oldest civilizations and guarded by the most advanced species. The walls shimmered with light, and the floor showed images of 1,000 worlds. Today, the chamber was full of tension. Captain Hayes stood in the center of the chamber. He was a tall man with dark skin and sharp eyes that missed nothing. His uniform was clean and perfect, but his face showed that he was tired. Behind him stood 5 other humans. They were Earth's representatives, and they had come because the Council had demanded their presence. The Council members sat in a circle around them. There was, and with silver skin and eyes that could see into the future. There was Kroon, whose scales gleamed like metal. There was a small alien with 3 brains and a voice like wind through rocks. And there were many others, each one from a species that had conquered stars and built empires that lasted thousands of years. The head of the council, an ancient being called Elder, spoke first. His words came through translation devices, but the meaning was clear and hard. "Earth," he said, "you have expanded too far. Your ships move into territories that do not belong to you. Your weapons grow stronger every year. Your people breed like insects and fill every world they can reach. This is not acceptable. The council has decided. You will accept new restrictions on your expansion. You will place human military forces under council command. You will share all new technology with us before building it yourselves. These are not requests. These are rules." The chamber was silent. All eyes turned to. Did not smile. He did not show anger. He simply looked at Elder and then at each council member one by one. When he spoke, his voice was steady and clear. "The council forgets something," said. "Humanity did not ask to join your group. You invited us 20 years ago because you wanted cheap soldiers and easy workers. You gave us the scraps of your knowledge and told us to be grateful. You treated us like children who needed to be watched. You blocked our ships from certain space. You told us which worlds we could settle on. You looked at us and saw only a species to control." Elder moved forward. "Careful, human. You speak to powers that could destroy your entire civilization before you finished your sentence." "Yes," said. "That is exactly what you would say. That is exactly what you always say. And that is why I am here to tell you that Earth is done. We are leaving this council, today, right now." The chamber exploded with noise. Council members spoke over each other. Some laughed, some looked shocked, leaned forward, her silver face showing something like interest. Raised his hand. The translators made sure everyone heard him. "Earth will leave all agreements we have made. We will stop sending soldiers to your wars. We will stop sharing our research. We will call back every human citizen working for the council. We will close every embassy, every station, every base. Earth will walk away from this entire structure, and you will learn what it means to be alone." "You cannot leave," Kroon said, his reptilian mouth showing teeth. "You will starve. You do not have the resources." "We will survive," said simply. "We always do. We come from a harsh world where nothing is easy. We learn to build instead of beg. We learn to fight instead of surrender. And we learn that sometimes the strongest thing you can do is walk away from those who do not respect you." Turned to his people. "We are leaving," he said. As they walked toward the chamber doors, called out, "You will regret this, human. Space is not kind to the alone." Stopped but did not turn around. "The council taught us that lesson long ago," he said. "We learned it well." The doors of the chamber opened and the humans walked out. They returned to their ship, a vessel called the Pioneer that waited in the docking bay. As the ship began to move away from the council station, sent one final message. "Earth is closing its borders. No council citizens are welcome. No trade will happen. No agreements will be honored. We are gone. And we will not come back until the galaxy learns to treat us as equals, not children. When that day comes, if it comes, you will have to beg for our return. Until then, you are on your own." Back on Earth, the message was received by Park, the chief administrator. She called emergency meetings. Within hours, the decision was made. Every human working for the council was ordered to return home. Every military base was abandoned. Every trade ship was recalled. Every embassy was closed. The humans who worked in council space packed their things and left. Some were scientists who had been sharing research. Some were soldiers who had been fighting the council's battles. Some were traders who had been making the council rich. They all left. Within 3 weeks, Earth was completely cut off from the galactic community. The silence was complete. The council sent messages asking for negotiations. The responses came back the same way every time. "Earth is not available. Earth will communicate when it is ready. But Earth was doing something else. On orders, the military shifted into high gear. Scientists began working on new projects. Engineers started building ships with designs that had been hidden away for years. Earth was preparing for a future without the Council. 6 months had passed since Earth vanished from the galactic stage. The Council waited for the humans to come back, begging for readmission. They expected Earth to crack under the pressure of isolation. They believed that no young species could survive alone in the dangerous galaxy. They were wrong. The reports started coming in slowly at first. Small incidents, an attack on a council station that should have been prevented. A supply ship that was supposed to be protected never arrived. An early warning system that nobody had because the humans had always provided that service. Then the incidents grew larger. 3 council worlds were attacked by the Empire in a single week. They had grown bold. Without human military forces to stop them, they moved deeper into council space. Whole populations were evacuated. Some worlds were partially conquered. Elder called an emergency meeting. The council members looked afraid, and that was something that almost never happened. "Where is our military response?" demanded. "We are mobilizing," someone said, but there was no confidence in the voice. "Mobilize faster," ordered. "Send everything we have." But the truth was that they did not have everything they needed. For 20 years, humanity had been the edge that the Council relied on. Humans were faster thinkers. Humans made better decisions in chaos. Humans had weapons that worked differently than other species, and that difference had given the Council an advantage. Without humans, they did not have that advantage. Sat in her private chambers and thought about what had happened. She was old enough to remember the days before humanity arrived. She had been there when the first human ships appeared on galactic sensors, and she had understood something that many council members did not. Humans were different. They were better at warfare. They were better at building. They were better at adapting to new situations. That was exactly why they had been kept controlled. She began to investigate what Earth was doing. She sent secret messages to human merchants who still operated at the edges of known space. She bought information from traders who had seen human ships. What she learned frightened her. Earth was building, rapidly. They had new ships, designs that nobody had seen before. They had new weapons. They had fortified their solar system with defenses that would be difficult to penetrate. And most important, they were not desperate. They were not hiding. They were preparing. Called a secret meeting with 3 other council members she could trust. She showed them the information. "They are strong," one council member said. "Yes," said, "and we made them that way. We gave them knowledge. We gave them experience in galactic warfare. We showed them how the powerful operate. And then we insulted them and threw them away." "What should we do?" another asked. "We should pray," said quietly. "We should pray that they do not decide to come back, because if they do, nothing will stop them." On Earth, the work continued night and day. Dr. Lisa led a team of scientists working on technologies that would have been considered impossible a year ago. Some of the research had been gathering dust for decades, waiting for the moment when Earth could afford to pursue it. The new engines could push ships faster than anything in the known galaxy. The new weapons could hit targets from incredible distances. The new shields could withstand hits that would destroy Council vessels. Walked through the research facilities watching his people work. He felt no triumph. He felt only certainty that what they had done was right. The galaxy had taught humanity a hard lesson. Respect had to be earned, and humanity was earning it. The Council sent formal messages asking for peace talks. They asked for meetings. They asked for any kind of communication. Earth's automated response was always the same. "Earth is not available for diplomatic contact at this time. All requests are acknowledged and will be reviewed. Thank you for your patience." The galaxy began to understand. Humanity was not coming back on the Council's terms. How 8 months after Earth's withdrawal, the Empire made a bold move. They launched a massive invasion of Council space. 5 worlds fell in the first week. The populations fled or were killed. The Council's military response was slow and weak. Desperate Elder called for an emergency session. "We must respond," he said, but his voice had lost its authority. "With what?" Kroon asked. The representative had remained on the Council, but now his silence was starting to look like complicity. "Our forces are depleted. Our supply lines are broken. Half of our territories are in chaos." The answer was obvious. They needed humanity. They had pushed humanity away, and now they would have to pull them back. It would be difficult, it would be humiliating, but there was no other choice. Volunteered to lead the diplomatic mission to Earth. The Council agreed. She was prepared to offer anything Earth wanted. A human transport ship met the Council delegation at the edge of human space. It was not the most advanced ship, but it was built with strength and purpose. The ship's commander was an officer named David. He greeted with respect but no warmth. "The Council wishes to speak with your leadership," said. "I will take you to Earth," David replied. The journey through human space was eye-opening for her. She saw human battle stations, massive structures that could destroy entire fleets. She saw human warships, vessels that looked like predators waiting to strike. She saw a civilization that had not been hiding. It had been building, and it had built something magnificent. Earth's government complex sat in the heart of New Earth City. It was a structure of clean lines and practical design. Was escorted into a conference room where she met Hayes. Looked exactly the same as he had at the Council. He was still calm, he was still composed, but now there was something else in his eyes: confidence, power, authority. "The Council wishes to make peace," said without introduction. "The Council had its chance," replied. "They are destroying the galaxy," said. "Millions are dying, worlds are burning, we need humanity to help us." Leaned back in his chair. "You need us," he said. "Not because you respect us, but because you cannot survive without us. That is different." "Yes," said. She did not try to deny it. "But the need is real, the suffering is real. Will you turn away from that?" "I will listen to the Council's offer," said. Presented everything: a permanent seat on the Council, veto power over all major decisions, all scientific research freely shared, trade agreements that would make Earth wealthy, full equality in all things. Listened carefully. When she finished, he spoke simply. "Too late," he said. "You had the chance to offer this when Earth first asked for respect. You refused, you treated us like children, you put restrictions on us, you blocked us from certain territories, you made it clear that we were not equals. Now you offer these things not because you believe them, but because you are desperate. And Earth does not negotiate from desperation. We do not negotiate from fear. We will not negotiate at all until you understand something." Wood asked. "That we could have conquered you," said. "That we could have taken everything. That we could have destroyed this Council and built something new in its place. We did not do those things, but we could have. And you should remember that every moment from now on." Stood. "I need to speak with Earth's Leadership Council. You will wait. You will be treated with respect, but you will wait. And you will understand that respect is not something given. It is something earned. The Council has much to do to earn it." Park listened to present the situation. The chief administrator sat with 3 other human leaders in a secure chamber. Outside, the world continued its work. Ships were being built. Soldiers were training. Scientists were researching. But in this room, humanity's future was being decided. "They are desperate," Park said, "and they should be." "People are dying," Dr. Lisa said. She had been brought into the meeting to provide her perspective. "The attacks are killing billions. If we do nothing, the death toll will be enormous." "That is not our problem," another leader said. His name was David King. "The Council made this situation. They ignored us. They pushed us away. Let them deal with the consequences." "But we have the power to stop it," Lisa said. "We have the military strength, we have the technology, and now we have the choice. Do we use that strength to help, or do we let people die to prove a point?" Listened but did not speak. He understood both sides. The anger was justified. The desire for revenge was understandable, but the question was bigger than that. Park looked at each person in the room. Then she asked the question that changed everything. "What would Earth want to be remembered as?" she asked. "A species that walked away from those who hurt us, or a species that was strong enough to help even those who harmed us? Which kind of civilization do we want to build? Which kind of civilization do we want our children and to inherit?" The room was silent. David King spoke first. "If we do this, we set a precedent. The Council will think they can treat us poorly, and we will help them anyway." "No," said. "We do this on our terms, we set the terms, and the terms are that everything changes. If the Council wants our help, the Council accepts that humans are equals, not junior partners, not junior members, equals. If they do not accept that, we do nothing and the galaxy burns." Lisa nodded. "And we do not just help them survive, we help them rebuild. We become the force that brings stability. We become the species that the galaxy learns to trust. Not because we are strong, but because we are trustworthy. Because even when we have the power to destroy, we choose to protect instead. Felt something shift inside him. This was what it meant to have real power. Not the power to destroy, but the power to choose mercy. The power to choose compassion. The power to choose the harder path. "We will help," said. "But the Council accepts all of our terms, no discussion, no negotiation. The terms are final. If they refuse, we do nothing." Park nodded. "Send the message to." When received the message, she wept. The terms were hard. The Council would have they had never fought against a civilization that combined human tactical thinking with advanced alien technology. The combination was devastating. Human ships arrived at battlefields not where they expected them, but where they were needed most. Human soldiers fought alongside alien troops, teaching them new methods of warfare. Human commanders made decisions faster and better than they could respond to. Within 3 months, the invasion was stopped. Within 6 months, the forces were pushed back across their own borders. The empire, which had once seemed unstoppable, collapsed under the weight of human opposition. But something more important was happening. The galaxy was watching. Billions of beings across thousands of worlds saw humans do something unexpected. They saw humans win battles and then help rebuild the worlds that had been destroyed. They saw human engineers working alongside alien workers to reconstruct cities. They saw human doctors treating alien patients. They saw human diplomats creating agreements that brought peace instead of just military victory. And they understood. Power was not just the ability to destroy. Power was also the ability to build. Power was the ability to choose strength over revenge. Power was the ability to help those who had hurt you. Worked closely with Hayes and the newly reformed council, the old structure was gone. Humanity had one seat at the table like every other major species. But humanity also had something else. Humanity had respect. One day and walked through one of the rebuilt council worlds. Humans and aliens worked together, building new structures. Children of different species played together. The future was being built in real time. "You could have destroyed us," said. "When you were strong enough, you could have conquered us." "Yes," said. "Why did you not?" asked. Looked at the workers, at the children, at the construction happening all around them. "Because that is not what strength is," he said. "Strength is not the ability to destroy. Strength is the ability to survive. We survived as a species by cooperating with each other. We survived by building instead of taking. We survived by trusting that tomorrow would be better than today. That is human strength, and that is what we brought to the galaxy." "The Council was wrong about you," said. "Yes," agreed. "But that is not important anymore. What is important is what comes next. We have been given the chance to build something new. To build a galaxy where all species are equals, where strength is measured not by weapons or territory, but by what you create and protect. That is what humanity will do." The two of them stood watching the sunset. On Earth, Park received the latest reports. The galaxy was stable. Trade was resuming. Scientific research was being shared freely. Humanity had become the heart of a new galactic civilization. But never forgot what the Council had tried to do. He understood that power was not something you held. It was something you earned every single day through the choices you made and the promises you kept. Humanity had learned that lesson on its harsh world long ago. Now the entire galaxy was learning it too. The story of Earth leaving without a word had become the most important story in the galaxy. Not because it was a story of conquest or war, but because it was a story of a species that understood the most important lesson of all. That true power comes not from taking what you want, but from having the strength to give what the galaxy needs. And the price that the Council paid for underestimating humanity was that they would never again take any species for granted. Because they had learned, finally, what every human had always known. That respect cannot be bought, sold, or demanded. It can only be earned by being worthy of it. To dissolve its old structure and rebuild with humanity as a true equal. 3 council worlds would become human protectorates until they could rebuild their own defenses. Human military forces would command the galactic response to the threat. But those terms meant something else too. Those terms meant that humanity would help, that billions of lives would be saved, that the galaxy would continue to exist. The Council did not hesitate. They accepted every term. D left, and Earth would return only if and when humanity decided to return. The galaxy did not notice at first, then it did, and when it did, it was far too late to do anything about it.